Have you ever felt that, despite all your efforts, you are not being truly valued? The truth is, being more valued is not just a matter of luck or being in the right place at the right time. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, reveals counterintuitive practices that can transform your life and relationships. Forget everything you've heard about standing out. Get ready to discover a different yet powerful path to finally being noticed and respected for who you truly are. Topic 1: Modern Paradox. In today's world, where we are always a click away from anyone, it's curious how loneliness seems to have intensified. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, teaches us that true value does not lie in external approval but in finding that value within ourselves. Think about it, how much time do you spend seeking likes on social media? What if, instead, you invested that time in self-knowledge, in understanding your own thoughts and emotions? When we talk about being valued, we often imagine recognition coming from outside, a promotion at work, compliments from friends, or the number of followers on social media. But according to Stoicism, true valuation begins internally. An interesting practice would be to spend a few minutes each day reflecting on your own achievements, without waiting for someone else to validate them. Like Marcus Aurelius, who wrote his meditations not for others but for himself, we can find immense value in simply being who we are. The irony of the modern paradox is that the more connected we are, the more we drift away from ourselves. Think of the last time you felt truly connected to someone. Was it through a screen or in a face-to-face conversation? A valued Stoic is one who understands that the deepest connections depend not on quantity, but on quality. Why not set aside time for meaningful encounters where real presence is more valued than any text message? If we dedicate ourselves to strengthening our connection with ourselves, we begin to see the world with new eyes. It is common to feel invisible among so many voices on the internet, but Stoicism shows us that solitude does not need to be something to fear. On the contrary, it can be an opportunity for self-discovery and personal growth. So, the next time you feel that pang of loneliness, ask yourself, what can I learn from myself at this moment? In the age of social media, the perception of value often gets lost in endless comparisons. However, a Stoic knows that value is not determined by what others see but by what one truly is. A practical exercise is to list, daily, 3 things in which you excel. This not only reinforces self-confidence but also reorients your focus to what truly matters, your own journey. The modern paradox challenges us to find meaning and value in a noisy and hectic world. However, by following Stoic teachings, we can learn that true connection, whether with others or with oneself, comes from a genuine, internal appreciation. This introspection is just the beginning of a deeper path where self-control and patience become essential tools to navigate the chaos of contemporary life. Topic 2: Self-control and patience. Self-control is a rare yet essential skill for anyone who wants to be more valued in any environment. In a world where everything seems to be happening at a frenetic pace, Stoicism teaches us the importance of slowing down and practicing patience. Staying calm when everyone around is panicking is not just a demonstration of strength but also of wisdom. A Stoic values serenity and tranquility instead of being swept away by the chaos that often takes over situations. Think about how you react when something doesn't go as planned. Instead of exploding or losing your temper, the Stoic knows there is power in waiting. Patience means not letting emotions control you. Imagine a chaotic traffic jam where everyone around you is honking and shouting. Instead of getting irritated, you choose to put on relaxing music, take a deep breath, and wait for the congestion to clear. This calmness, this self-control, increases your value because it shows you are someone reliable and stable. We often associate patience with inactivity, but the truth is that being patient requires a special kind of action, internal action. Staying firm and calm amidst chaos doesn't mean you're not acting. It means you are choosing your response instead of reacting impulsively. This practice, over time, makes people around you perceive you as someone balanced, who doesn't get shaken by any storm. Isn't that exactly what everyone desires in a leader? Self-control also reflects in how we communicate. How many times have we said something in the heat of the moment that we later regret? The Stoic, valued for his wisdom, reflects before responding. A practical exercise is to count to 5 before speaking in a stressful situation. This allows you to organize your thoughts and respond more calmly and consciously. This type of behavior attracts trust and respect from others. Patience can be compared to planting a tree. You don't see immediate results, but if you water and nurture the plant every day, eventually you will have a lush and valuable tree. The same happens with our daily actions and choices. Stoicism invites us to sow patience and self-control, knowing that the fruit of this effort will be a more valued life, where self-confidence and appreciation from others grow continuously. Being patient and having self-control is not about becoming a passive person, but rather about taking control of the only thing we can really control, ourselves. This self-sufficiency is the foundation for any solid and meaningful relationship, which leads us to the next step in the Stoic journey, understanding the value of occasionally stepping back to create a sense of loss and, paradoxically, be more valued. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the content, please give the video a like. It's quick and helps YouTube recognize that our content is relevant and recommend it to more people who could benefit from these ideas. Topic 3. Creating a sense of loss. In the game of human relationships, always being available can end up devaluing your presence. Stoicism suggests that sometimes stepping back is necessary for people to realize the true value of your company. Imagine a rare gem, the more accessible it is, the less precious it seems. So are we. By always being present, we do not give others the chance to feel our absence and, consequently, to value us more. It is important to understand that stepping back from time to time is not an act of selfishness but of strategic intelligence. When we distance ourselves, we allow others to miss us and reflect on the importance we have in their lives. It may seem paradoxical, but occasional distancing can strengthen bonds rather than weaken them. For example, take some time for yourself, a Saturday afternoon away from social media or your usual social circle, and see how it changes everyone's perception around you. At times, we feel the need to always be available to show we care. However, Stoicism teaches us not to depend on this constant external validation. By creating a sense of loss, we allow others to perceive the value of our presence without needing to be there all the time. Think of it as a strategic pause that increases your personal value, leaving others eager for more moments by your side. Have you noticed how someone who is always around can become invisible over time? The Stoic knows that for presence to be valued, it must be measured. It's like a good song, if you play it repeatedly, you'll soon tire of it. The secret is finding the balance, show up enough to create an impact, but also disappear enough for your absence to be felt. This makes your interactions more meaningful and desired. The concept of creating a sense of loss also applies to the professional environment. A professional who doesn't burn out, who knows when to step back from a project or discussion, tends to be more respected and valued. This doesn't mean being indifferent, but choosing the moments when your presence is truly necessary and impactful. Knowing when to step back can be a powerful differentiator for being more valued. Distancing yourself to be more valued doesn't mean disappearing or being inaccessible, but rather being strategic with your time and energy. Letting others want more of your presence can create a profound effect of appreciation. With this foundation, the next step is to understand how to balance relationships without seeming needy or manipulative but with authenticity and mutual respect. Topic 4. Balance in relationships. In a world where neediness and manipulation often disguise themselves as affection, Stoicism offers us a path to building genuine relationships. By valuing oneself without appearing needy, the Stoic can establish authentic and lasting connections. The key here is to understand that any relationship should be a two-way street, where both feel valued and respected. Imagine having a friend who is always by your side, not out of need, but from a genuine choice to share moments and experiences. For a relationship to be balanced, it is essential that each party feels they are giving and receiving fairly. The Stoic recognizes that it's not about measuring or counting every action, but understanding the essence of reciprocity. For example, in a friendship, it is important to feel that your emotional needs are being met as much as you meet the needs of the other. This avoids resentment and promotes a healthier and more valued bond. Building a balanced relationship also involves the ability to say no when necessary. It's not about rejecting or disregarding the other, but respecting your own limits and needs. The Stoic, aware of his value, understands that he does not need to be always available to be loved or appreciated. Being more valued, in fact, can come from the respect we show for ourselves by setting our boundaries clearly and consistently. There is no room for tricks or manipulations in healthy relationships. The Stoic avoids emotional games because he understands that authenticity is the true foundation of any meaningful connection. If you find yourself constantly trying to please or worrying excessively about others' approval, it's time to stop and reassess. Remember that being more valued is not the result of making the other feel inferior or dependent, but of being honest and upright. Balancing a relationship is often like dancing the tango. It requires attention, sensitivity, and, above all, mutual respect. Each step taken should consider the well-being of the other without losing the rhythm with one's own essence. A practical example could be openly discussing your needs and expectations with friends or partners, establishing common ground where both can flourish. When balance is achieved, the relationship not only becomes more valued but also more enriching. This harmony, however, is not an endpoint but a state that requires constant maintenance and attention to detail. As we cultivate this balance, it's essential to remember that maintaining a certain air of mystery can often further enrich connections, creating a natural desire to delve deeper into each other's essence. If you are appreciating these valuable lessons and want to take your Stoic journey to the next level, we have something special for you. Presenting our ebook, Wealth and Wisdom, Stoicism as a Path to Financial Prosperity. This practical and inspiring guide combines the timeless teachings of Stoicism with modern financial strategies to transform your financial life and develop a balanced and resilient mindset. For only $14.90, you can take the first step toward achieving financial prosperity and true balance. Don't let uncertainty and financial stress control your life. Invest in yourself today and discover the power of Stoic wisdom to achieve true wealth and financial serenity. The link to purchase is in the video description. Take advantage of this opportunity. Topic 5: Maintaining an air of mystery. In a world where transparency seems to be a demand, there is undeniable power in maintaining an air of mystery. The Stoic understands that he doesn't need to reveal everything about himself to be valued. On the contrary, revealing less can spark curiosity and genuine interest from others. Think of it as a book. If you reveal the ending right away, you lose all the magic of the narrative. Let others discover your layers gradually, as they would uncover the pages of a fascinating story. Revealing your essence gradually is not a game of manipulation, but a way to create deeper and more meaningful connections. When you share everything at once, you leave no room for the other to explore and discover who you are. Imagine someone who knows all your secrets right at the beginning of a friendship. What's left to discover after that? Instead of unloading your entire story, offer small revelations over time, creating a subtle dance of mutual discovery. An air of mystery also protects your emotional integrity. By not exposing yourself completely, you create a healthy barrier that protects your innermost core from potential judgments or manipulations. This doesn't mean being evasive or dishonest, but understanding that not all parts of you need to be on display all the time. It's like a good movie that, by leaving some details up in the air, makes the viewer think and reflect. When it comes to being more valued, mystery can act as a magnet that attracts others' interest. Who hasn't been drawn to someone who doesn't give everything away? This curiosity can be a powerful fuel for more meaningful relationships. By avoiding being an open book from the start, you allow others to make a bit more effort to know you, thus valuing each piece of information they receive even more. Maintaining an air of mystery also positively impacts how you see yourself. Knowing that you have parts of yourself that are special and will only be revealed to those who truly matter increases your own perception of value. It's like having a rare jewel that you don't show to everyone but save for moments and people who truly deserve it. This creates a positive cycle of self-valuation that is reflected in your posture and attitude. Thus, the balanced Stoic knows that mystery is not absence but selective presence. And this selective presence can enrich relationships, making them more valuable and intriguing. As we develop this ability to maintain an air of mystery, we learn that this same restraint gives us the strength to practice independence, to be guided by our own principles and values without needing constant validation. Topic 6. Independence. Independence, in the Stoic sense, is much more than just being self-sufficient. It is an expression of freedom guided by one's own principles and values. A Stoic understands that being independent means not being swayed by others' opinions or society's expectations. Imagine a tree growing in firm soil. It draws nourishment from its surroundings, but its roots are deeply anchored in its own essence. This is the foundation of being more valued. Being independent also means making decisions based on what is right for you, not what seems right for others. It is the act of following your own path, even if that path is less traveled. Think of Seneca, who advised on the importance of living according to one's own convictions. This does not mean being inflexible or stubborn, but rather staying true to what really matters. A practical example is saying no when necessary, without fear of displeasing others. Independence in thought and action not only earns the respect of others but also strengthens your own confidence. When you act guided by your principles, there is no room for regrets or internal doubts. It's like a navigator charting his course by the stars, not by the lights of other ships. With each decision aligned with your values, you become a little stronger and, paradoxically, more accessible for true and deep relationships. Stoicism teaches us that true independence is not about living in isolation, but about being authentic in all interactions. By maintaining your integrity, you become an example to follow, showing that it is possible to be in tune with the world without being shaped by it. This not only increases your own value but also attracts people who respect this stance and want to be part of your life genuinely. Being independent also involves knowing when to ask for help without compromising your own autonomy. The help a Stoic seeks is one that complements his principles, not one that replaces his ability to make decisions. It's like a general who consults his strategists but ultimately decides based on his own judgment. This approach not only enriches your support network but also solidifies the respect others have for you. Thus, by practicing independence in thought and action, you become a beacon of authenticity in a world of conformity. This leads us to the next step in the Stoic journey, understanding the value of mutual investment in relationships, allowing others to contribute to your life in a reciprocal and enriching way. Topic 7. Mutual investment. Stoicism teaches us that a truly valued relationship is one where there is mutual investment, where both parties feel they are contributing to each other's growth and well-being. The idea here is simple: we all have an intrinsic desire to feel valued and important. When you allow the people around you to be a part of your life genuinely, you are actually creating a stronger and more meaningful bond. Think of a relationship like a bridge. It only stands when there is construction from both sides. Allowing others to contribute to your life is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom. The Stoic knows that the value of a relationship lies not only in what he can offer but also in what he can receive. By accepting help, advice, or even constructive criticism, you create a space for mutual growth. Imagine a mentor who not only guides but also learns from his apprentice. This type of relationship is enriching for both and promotes a deeper and more valued connection. Mutual investment also applies to the professional realm. Collaborating on a project, sharing ideas and solutions not only strengthens the team but also makes each member feel an important part of the collective success. Instead of being a lone wolf, the Stoic understands the value of working together, knowing that true strength lies in diversity of thought and unity of effort. A practical example would be to organize regular meetings where everyone can share insights, promoting an environment of respect and mutual appreciation. This concept of mutual investment can be compared to a plant that you cultivate with another person. Both need to water it, care for it, and protect it for it to flourish. If only one person is investing time and energy, the plant will not have a chance to survive for long. So, the next time you are in a relationship, whether personal or professional, ask yourself, am I really contributing in allowing the other to contribute as well? Mutual investment also means being present not only in good times but especially in challenges. A friendship or partnership that withstands adversities and grows through them is a connection that has been tested and proven valuable. It is in these moments that the Stoic shows his true essence, demonstrating that he understands the importance of standing by those who truly matter, not out of obligation, but out of a sense of genuine commitment. As we cultivate this idea of mutual investment, we begin to understand the need to establish healthy boundaries that maintain this reciprocity without one party feeling overwhelmed. Because, just like balance, reciprocity is essential to being more valued in any type of relationship. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the content, please give the video a like. It's quick and helps YouTube recognize that our content is relevant and recommended to more people who could benefit from these ideas. Topic 8: Healthy Boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries is a fundamental practice for anyone who wishes to be more valued in their relationships, whether personal or professional. Stoicism teaches us that, to preserve our integrity and well-being, it is crucial to know where our responsibility ends and another's begins. When you clearly define what you are willing to accept or not, you not only protect yourself but also educate others to respect your space and time. This is not about pushing people away but about cultivating an environment where mutual respect and appreciation can flourish. Often, the difficulty in setting boundaries comes from the fear of displeasing others or seeming selfish. However, the Stoic understands that true value only occurs when there is respect for one's own boundaries. Imagine a professional who never says no to an extra task at work. Over time, he not only becomes overwhelmed but also devalued because his willingness is taken for granted. Learning to say no firmly and kindly is a skill everyone should cultivate. Healthy boundaries also mean knowing when to step away from situations or people who do not respect your space. It's not always easy, but the Stoic knows that to maintain inner peace, it is necessary to move away from toxic environments. Think of a plant that grows better when it is in healthy soil. So are we thrive in environments that nourish us, not in places that drain our energy. Setting boundaries is not a barrier to love or collaboration but an act of self-love. It is important to communicate clearly and directly what you expect in your interactions. A practical example is setting specific times for important conversations, avoiding discussions during moments of exhaustion or stress. By doing this, you show that you value both the relationship and your own well-being. The Stoic understands that healthy boundaries are dynamic and can be adjusted as needed. They are not rigid walls but flexible borders that protect your peace and authenticity. If a friendship or partnership constantly tests these limits, it may be a sign that the other person is not willing to invest equally. And here lies the crucial point: to be valued, you must first value yourself. As we learn to set and respect our boundaries, we also realize the importance of selective communication. Speaking less, listening more, and wisely choosing when and how to express ourselves is the next step to building high-value relationships. Topic 9: Selective Communication. The art of selective communication is a powerful tool in a Stoic's arsenal. In a world where everyone seems to compete to be heard, speaking less and listening more can be a surprisingly effective strategy for being more valued. Stoicism teaches us that words carry weight, and when used wisely, they can build bridges and solidify relationships. Think of it as a conversation between old friends. Every word is spoken with intention, and every silence has its meaning. Selective communication does not mean being silent or overly reserved but rather being strategic about what you choose to share. There are times when a well-placed word can be more powerful than a long speech. A practical example of this is when you are in a work meeting. Instead of speaking constantly to stand out, choose critical moments to offer valuable insights. This approach not only increases your credibility but also makes your words more valued. Listening more is also a fundamental pillar of this practice. By listening attentively, you not only learn more about the other person but also demonstrate respect and genuine interest. The Stoic knows that to be valued, it is important to value what the other has to say. In difficult or emotional conversations, for example, the simple act of paying attention and asking pertinent questions can make all the difference in the depth of the connection you establish. Selective communication also involves the ability to choose your battles. Not every discussion needs to be won, and not every opinion needs to be expressed. The Stoic understands that it is wiser to preserve peace than to prove an irrelevant point. This does not mean being submissive but rather being strategic. If a conversation is escalating into an unnecessary conflict, it might be better to opt for silence or a thoughtful response that diffuses the tension. Another important aspect is clarity in communication. Speaking less does not mean being vague or ambiguous. On the contrary, selective communication requires clarity and precision. When you choose your words carefully, you avoid misunderstandings and make clear what really matters. It's like an architect who, instead of using excessive materials, builds with accuracy and beauty. The result is always more solid and valued. As we practice selective communication, we realize that being independent in our thoughts and actions becomes a natural consequence. By using our words wisely, we show that our independence is guided by solid principles, laying the groundwork for the next and final step in the Stoic journey. Topic 10: Independence and Integrity. Independence, combined with integrity, is a hallmark of the valued Stoic. Acting according to your principles, even when the world around you tries to pull you in opposite directions, is a true act of courage. Stoicism teaches us that to be truly valued, it is not enough just to be independent, that independence must be anchored in integrity. It is like a lighthouse that remains steadfast regardless of the storms facing the surrounding sea. When you act with integrity, your actions speak louder than your words. The Stoic knows that genuine respect from others is not earned with empty promises but with consistent actions. Think of someone you deeply admire. It is likely that this person has a code of conduct that doesn't deviate, even under pressure. This kind of stance not only inspires others but also increases your own value in any context. Integrity requires that we be true to ourselves and others, even if it means going against the grain. It is about doing what is right, even when no one is watching. In a world where authenticity is often traded for convenience, staying true to your values is a powerful way to stand out and be more valued. A practical example would be to turn down a shortcut or opportunity that contradicts your principles, knowing that the satisfaction of living according to your truth is irreplaceable. Independence with integrity also involves being able to make tough choices. The Stoic understands that sometimes the loneliest path is the most rewarding. Imagine a leader who makes difficult but fair decisions for the good of his team, even if it costs him popularity in the short term. This kind of independence creates lasting trust and respect, essential elements for any meaningful relationship or endeavor. By maintaining an independent and integral stance, you are not only building a reputation but also setting the tone for the relationships around you. People who act with this combination of strength and honesty attract those who value the same qualities. This creates a virtuous cycle where trust is mutual, and partnerships are based on genuine respect and admiration. The Stoic journey is a continuous exercise in personal improvement, where each step taken with integrity and independence solidifies the path to a more valued life. With all these elements in place, the final reflection is an invitation to integrate all these teachings into everyday life, creating a positive and lasting impact on relationships and how we see ourselves in the world. Now that you know these Stoic practices to be more valued, the question remains: are you ready to apply them? Reflect on each point we discussed and ask yourself honestly, am I truly valuing myself in the way I deserve? Change begins with a decision to act according to your principles and cultivate relationships based on authenticity. It's time to take the next step toward a life where you are genuinely appreciated. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue your journey of growth and discovery with Stoic wisdom by your side.